Boudoir photographers, want to know how to price your work? Let's go. Hi, my name is Meredith Rincars, and I'm a wedding and a boudoir photographer based out of Savannah, Georgia. And I want to talk with you about how to price your work as a boudoir photographer. There are a lot of ways to price your work. You can do a la carte, you can do custom, you can do packages. And as a new boudoir photographer, that can be incredibly confusing as to where to even start. Sometimes it might feel like the wild, wild west. So here's what I do that helps to grow my boudoir photography business. The first thing that I do is I figure out what my cost of goods are for the actual initial session. I separate my session fee from my actual product, digitals, all of that. That way I know that no matter what happens, if they don't purchase anything, and let's be real, sometimes those clients potentially may not purchase anything. They might just want to have an experience and feel beautiful. It still happens, 16 years in the business. So, cost of goods. How much are you having to pay a hair and makeup artist? How much are you having to pay if you're renting a studio for the day? Do you need an editor? All of those things factor into that session fee. From there, I figure out how much I need to make to be there for that day, my get out of bed rate. And I'm doing that as a package session fee. Hair and makeup is included, all of that. They're not having to pay additional fees. I'm also raising my session fee high enough that when I go to market it, I can do discounts, I can do sales without cutting into my profit. Then I'm offering upgrades throughout the process leading up to the session date itself. Things like adding on angel wings. Well, that's an additional $99. Do they want an additional amount of time for their outfits? Well, that's an additional amount. So I'm starting to pad that session fee, that package, with additional add-ons as we get closer and closer to that date and that time. And in fact, I'm also including within that a confidence coaching session, which makes a lot of my clients feel like they are prepared and ready to go. And that collaboration really helps with that package. So let's dive into what I'm talking about with a confidence coach. I'm actually not the one coaching them in that package. I am outsourcing that with a confidence coach, another business owner, and we have collaborated to make that package really enticing. That works really well to not only send clients her way and cross-promote, but clients she already has that need a session or want a session, she's sending my way. And so that cross-promotion really helps to grow the business. And having that included in a package option is incredibly profitable for me as a boudoir photographer. Now let's dive into add-ons, because that is where you can start really increasing your bottom line, and the cost of it is almost minimal. So things like the angel wings, a shower set, a hot honey session, adding in a specialty season set. Those are all things that increase that bottom line. Then my clients are getting their package options for the day of session reveal before they ever come into the studio. So they know they're not getting digitals with that session fee, they're not getting albums, they're not getting prints. And that is where we shift from a package model, a session fee model, to moving into the ability to either have a la carte or packages. The reason that I have structured the in-person sales that way is because all of the clients that are coming in have a different journey. They all have the same commonality that they want to feel beautiful, they want to feel seen, they want to feel heard, but they all are in different seasons of life. Some of them are getting married and they want an album for their future partner. Some of them are going through a really hard time and they're wanting to celebrate going through that journey and have made it to the other end. For that reason, I have packages that start in the 6,000 range and go all the way down to the 800 range. But then on the a la carte side, they can opt to purchase just an album, but I've structured it in such a way that the a la carte is pushing them into the packages. The packages make much more sense. They are structured in a way that they are the best value, and they are structured in a way that if I need to move things around, I can to meet the needs of that client. For example, I might have a boudoir client that comes in and says, I really, really want an album and I want the digitals, but I don't want to print on the wall because I have kids in the house. And so I know my cost of goods on those packages that I can go ahead and take the product out, the print on the wall out, and I can add in more images to the album. And that increases the size of the album, lowers my cost of goods, and they're still getting a great product and a great offering. Now, some of you might be saying, well, they're going to want to have the digitals. I can't not offer the digitals with the initial package fee. And you are cutting yourself off at the knees if you do that. Instead, you need to make sure that you have those two separate offerings so that when you get to the in-person design session, they're going to see the option of the digitals, which is probably what most people gravitate towards, but then they're going to physically touch those albums. They're going to see the products. They're going to want to have that on their walls in their home when initially they're coming in and thinking they just want digitals. So let's dive more into the seasonal sets and the add-ons. For the first year of being a boudoir photographer, this was not something that I offered. And I really kick myself for not having done it. Now I have angel wings displayed in the studio. It's one of the first things that they see when they come through the door, along with the product on the wall, along with the albums on the tables. And if they initially have ignored the emails, the texts, the consultation information that we've talked on the phone about these add-ons, that reminds them on the day of, oh my gosh, I really do want those angel wings. So some of the specialty sets can be added the day of, some of them cannot. And I let them know that in the consultation call. The angel wings are super easy to add on for an upcharge. Things like the hot honey set, super easy to add on. The shower set is a little more complicated. And so that's something that I need to know ahead of time because I need an additional assistant on the day of. Things like the seasonal sets. Right now I have a Christmas set in my studio space. I also have a witchy woman set, a gothic goddess set that they can use because right now it's the fall. And those take time to set up. So they're going to be an additional charge. It's not just hanging a backdrop and taking a photo. It's bringing in a Christmas tree. It's bringing in a cauldron or candles or things like that. And so I have images of that I send to them that they can see, oh, okay, I want that. And it's planning ahead far enough in advance that you can go ahead and share that information with them. So we're in September right now. I'm already pushing Christmas. I already have those marketing assets to add that onto, and I'm sharing it on social media, and I'm getting their responses of, wait a minute, can I add this in? Sure, absolutely. Even though you missed the email and the text messages, absolutely, you can add that in. So one of the biggest questions that I often hear when we're talking about adding in-person sales to your boudoir offering is, how far ahead do I need to offer things? The first thing you need to know is, how long is the production time for my print lab? Are they in busy season? So let's take Valentine's Day for an example. If I am marketing for Valentine's Day, I am actually starting in November. I'm dually marketing Christmas and Valentine's Day at the same time because the minute I hit December 1st, they start to check out. They're thinking about their holiday plans. They're thinking about the Christmas tree, buying gifts and presents for family and friends, and that's still their focus. So I hit them in November, and then I'm still talking about it through December, but they're not paying attention, and I hit them again in January. I cannot deliver what they want 2 weeks out. So it has to be a 3-week lead time for them to get anything physically in hand other than digitals. And I don't want them to have the digitals. I want them to have the product in hand because that is something that is lasting. I hope that this helps and encourages you to not only offer product if you're not, but if you are, revamp what you're doing to make your studio more profitable, add product into your offerings, and grow your business. If you want more content just like this, hit that like and subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any new content.